All right, all right. So are you guys hearing me now? You guys hearing me now? Drop your messages on the group. Drop the messages
Yeah, we
on the
can hear
group.
you well.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you. All right, let's get started. So everything has been put in place. The class is recorded. All right, so today we'll be treating printing and measurements. It's a very, very important topic in graphic design. So please pay attention. Pay attention. Do me a favor, get your jotter. Get your jotter. Yesterday, many of you were not jotting. At the end of the day, you were telling me all manner of excuse. So get your jotter, get your writing materials, get ready as well. So today's class, sorry, who is speaking? Please mute yourself. Okay, so today's class will be more of practical because I'll be showing you almost everything that I'll be doing. We're talking about printing, so I need to show you what it is all about. All right, let's start with some few theories. Okay, so printing means having a hard copy of a document. That's what basically printing is. That you're done with the design and soft copy is not enough for your client. The client needs a hard copy. The client is trying to tell you, I need something very, very big. What are you going to use to print? You need to know in printing press, what are their requirements for printing? What paper sizes do they use? I've seen a lot of graphic designers today that have no knowledge on this. Like they know how to design very, very well. The designs are so beautiful, but they have no knowledge on printing. They don't know anything about printing. They just know how to design. And plus, in today we aim for clients uh that request, they just want you to, when you're done with the work, just send it to them online. But more especially all these social media designs, Instagram designs. If you go to a printing press, those things will not work because in printing press they don't use Facebook size, neither do they use Instagram size. No, all those screen sizes for different social medias, they are very good, but as good as they are, they're not important in printing. The paper sizes for printing are very, very different. And if you have no knowledge, and we also have different paper qualities. We also have different paper qualities. So we'll get to there. All right, let's get started. So before you go to printing, you must know the paper sizes that they use. You must know the paper sizes that they use. All right, let's start with the first paper size. We'll quickly go to I'll be sharing my screen. Hope you guys are seeing my screen. If you're seeing my screen, just say yes. If you're seeing my screen, just say yes. I want to quickly go. All right, okay. Let's quickly head to Pixel Lab. So, all right, many of you are familiar with Pixel Lab. Many of you no longer, as some bosses that we have here, no longer use Pixel Lab. It's for small boys. They're now using Corel and Photoshop. Also good. So, let's talk about paper sizes. Let me quickly do something. During the class, I will show you guys what I'm doing. Uh, I will explain it later. Okay. I'm coming. Right. Hope you guys are still following. I just want to set my sizes first before I start teaching. Okay. So let's start with for everyone that is a designer, you should be aware of screen size of paper sizes. In case, in fact, one of the questions you should ask your client when you're designing for them, you should ask them, are you going to print this work? How do you want to print it? Because some of them just come to you and they tell you, I want a flyer. I just start designing flyer. No, you should ask them, are you going to print this work? If you're going to print it, then you should consider paper sizes. Okay, how small should the work be? How big should the work be? Or if somebody should come to you now and the person wants to design a label for its product, how are you going to do it? Because label, definitely they need to print the label. You're going to consider the size of the bottle and those things before you consider the size of printing. We're not talking about price of printing, we are talking about the measurements. So that being considered, um, the first paper sizes that is very popular that everyone knows is the A series, the A paper series. So let me use a good font. So the A paper series. So in the A paper series, we have who is still following? Are you guys still hearing me? Type yes on. I just entered the group chat now. Type yes on the group chat. Let me know if you're still following. Okay, okay, okay. All right, let's go ahead and continue. So we have the A paper series. So in the A paper series, we have A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6. So far A6 then and so on and so forth. We have the B paper series and others. So the most popular and the one used in printing press is the A paper series. That's what they use. And in A paper series, we have different quality of them. So let's start with the paper. How big is it? What does it look like? So the first one is A1. A1, how what would I equate it to? Okay, A1 is as big as your 20 leaf. Your 20 leaf time the size of your 20 leaves, like the size of your 20 leaf times 8 is your A1. Times 8 is your A1. That's for A1 times 8 is your A1. A1, I don't think people don't normally print that, so will not take much time there. I'm trying to use something that is very much relatable to you, the ones that we see every day. Then A2 is half. I would have used the right measurements for this, but Pixel Lab, you see, it's in percentage to not work. So even if you try to, it will not work. So let me just do something. It's not even giving me what I want. So let's take for instance that this is a a1, and then let me duplicate it. So in height, I'll divide it into 2. That's to 30%. Let me change the color. So maybe this. So this is not actually what it should look like, but practically A2 is half. A2 is half of A1, half of it. So then the next one on the series is A3. So A3 is half of A2. That's how it keeps going down. Sorry. Half of it, which should be 15. Maybe I should do it the other way around. Let me do it this way. Let me divide this to 25. It's still the same thing. And change the color. This. So this is A3. A3 is A2 is 4. I said the other one is 8. A2 is 6 of your what do they call it? Of your God, of your 20 leaves. Then A3 is 4 of your 20 leaves. A3 is 4 of your 20 leaves. Then the popular one that I believe you should know it is your A4. So I'm no longer writing these things. I just need to be fast. We have other things to talk about. So this is your A4. No, they're not looking like the normal paper size that you should know. But technically, let me use red for that one. So this is technically your A4 or A4 paper size. So are you seeing how it's going down, down? Then A5, you should know, is your 20 leaf. And once you say double of your 20 leaf is A4, and your 20 leaf, when you fold, like the normal way your 20 leaf looks like, is A5. Are you following? Are you following? Okay. Yes, the class is recorded. Turn me over. The class is recorded. The class is recorded. When I'm done with the class, I'll send it to the group. Class is recorded. All right. All right, let's continue. So I was saying that A5 is the same size with your 20 leaves. Your 20 leaves is the same size with your 20 leaves. So the next one is your A6. A6 is half of your 20 leaves. Like you pick up your 20 leaves and you divide your 20 leaves into 2. It's half of it. So I've stopped dividing this thing. I think we stopped at A2, A1, A2, A3, A4, then let's get A5. I'll actually get this with this. I can't remember. Let's use just supposed to use 8 for it. So so then A6 should be half of it. Let's use this one. You know the half, it mustn't be whether it's at the top or this one. Half is half. You should already know that. So whether it's portrait or landscape, is still the same thing. So long as it's half of it. All right. So now when you want to print and your client is telling you, I want to print so number, maybe 100 flyers for me. And that 100 flyers, it needs to be very, very small. Ask your client how small. The client may tell you half of 20 leaves, that size should be okay. So you now check. Half of 20 leaves is A6. If you start telling your clients, okay, is it A6 that you want? Your client, even you now, some of you don't even know what is A6. So if you start telling your client is A6, the client will be like, what is A6? Use something that they can relate with. Tell them, do you need the size of your 20 leaves or half of 20 leaves? If you're with 20 any book, that you can. Some of my clients that I meet physically, I go with them with a book. Sometimes I just squeeze A4 paper and I put it in my pocket and I go. So when we are discussing and we want to relate something like that, I will show them, this is what it looks like. This is the size of what you want. And they'll be like, yes, how did you know? I do something that they can relate with. So, and if it tells me, okay, the size I want is at A6, right? Very fine. I'll go to my A3 because majorly printing press, what they print majorly is A3 and A4. A3 and A4. That's what you will see majorly, A3 and A4. Most people that do photocopy, most people that do photocopy is A4. Then people that print flyers and other stuff is majorly A3 and A4. So to save your cost, we are going to print with A3. I have to print with A3. So how do you do it? It needs 100 flyers and you need to print it in A3. How many of A6? I don't know if you're following. How many of A6, that is the paper size that they want, how many of it can fit into what is printable? Because if you go to printing press, they don't have A6 paper, except they will use cutting machine to cut it to that particular A6 or A5. What they majorly have is A3 and A4. Rarely before you see the people that have A2. You will not even see A1. Yes, you will not see A1. What you see is A3 and A4. A2 is scarce. It's only few persons, maybe people that have been in the field for a long time. And the kind of printing machine that they use for that one, then they call it impression. So it's not so rampant. So the one that they use mostly is A3 and A4. And if you're printing with A4, I mean, you want to print 100 flyer, it will cost you much. So it's better you use A3, which is what I use mostly. So what do you do? How many of A6 can fit into A3? Let's run the math. Let me first of all explain. Knowing fully well that A6 is half of A5 and your A5 is your 20 leaves. So in A5, you have 2 A6. Another A5 again, you have 4 A6. That is your A4. 4 A6 in your A4. So 4 plus another 4 will give you how many? Let's go to a calculator. It will not look like I'm just saying it. So in 2 of A3 of A6, I mean, gives you A5, right? So that's 4. And this 4 now is equal to A4. All together? So A4 times 2 to give you that A3. So 8 of A6 will give you A3. So then the next thing you're going to check is, my client needs 100 copies of A6, right? How many A3 do I need to print to give him that 100? It's very simple. All you need to do is 100, sorry, not 1000, 100 divided by 8, and you'll give you 12.5. So you can print 13 copies for him. And 13 copies will give you that 100 pieces of A6 that you want. But once they're done printing it, you cut the. Are you guys still following? Have I left some people behind? Yeah, people are shouting formula. Yeah. All right, trust. I can see you. Right, people are really shouting formula. Oh, yeah, 12.5. Correct. So you 13 pieces of it will give you, I think, 104. Yeah. So you've solved that already. What if your client needs more? That's the same process to follow. Check how many aces can fit into A3, then that's that how many pieces are fit in there times, or sorry, divided by the number the client wants. So let's say 500 divided by 8. When you run this, you will know how many copies you need to print. You don't need to tell your client this. So you need to tell your client this. Let's take, for instance, your client is asking you, what's the cost of printing? What's the cost of printing? Let me pay so I can print this work. And in printing, you really need to know printing price. Or need to know printing price. I think for now, printing price is ranging from 120 for A3 to 150 in my area. Some places are ranging to 180. 180. So for me, if I want to bill, if I want to bill, I'll bill them. Don't shout Holy Ghost. Just see that one. So that if I'm transporting myself, if you tell them only the printing price, remember after you're done printing, you will cut. You will cut it. Let me show you something. So I think this was, let me quickly delete all this stuff here. So let's say, for instance, let's use our grid to solve the mass. How can I get 8 of this now? Let me set this to be normal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's already normal. So let me break this to, I think this should be 25 by what? Okay, so yeah. So imagine you set this, and let's get the second one. I may not take time to fix everything very well. I just want to be changing the colors. This is how you arrange it before you print it. I'm just trying to be fast. This is how you arrange it before printing it. So I did not arrange it very well, so don't mind me. I believe you should know this already in your Pixel lab. Just trying to be fast. So you did this, then, and this. So when they are done printing this, see how everything is congested. They need to cut it into the single, like this black one. You need to cut out this black one so that it will be that single flyer that the client wants. So, and every printing press will have to charge you for cutting. Except you know how to cut very well, I use your scissors to cut it. But if they are to give you a perfect work, a perfect and clean cutting, you have to pay. So, and in case you go to a printing press, there's one particular work I did one certain time, and I've billed my client, I've told him everything. Then that was when I started using this price. I told him the exact price for printing. That was, I think, 130 then in where I used to print. So after I told him that, I got to the place that I wanted to print, and unfortunately, the price of printing was 150. I called the man. I was telling the man that the price of print. The man said he's not paying. He has paid me already. I should print his work and send it to him. Who lost? Me. So I have to use the extra money he paid me for work, not that the extra money I was supposed to get as my gain. That he paid, okay, this is your extra money. That was what I included to complete the money for printing. So outside the extra money you will get, increase your distance so that know how you'll be on the safer side. Yes, anyhow, anything that happens, you're on the safer side. Are you following? So that is it for the A paper series. So let's talk about paper quality. Sorry, I need to get something. Right, let's talk about paper quality. How many of you are jotting? How many of you are jotting? Hello, who is online, sir? Who is still active? Okay. Okay, yeah, trust you are jotting. Okay. All right, let's continue. So let's talk about paper quality. So we have different paper quality, and we're not talking about flex here too. We are still talking about paper quality. So we are still talking about the A paper series and different. It has different qualities. Remember that your A1 can be cut down to A6. Probably what the people have is A1, and at least no, they can cut it down. Remember what I showed you, that A1, half of A1 is A2, half of A2 is A3, half of A3 is A4. So let's talk about paper quality. It's all the same thing. Uh, um, it's all the same paper sizes, but the quality of the paper. So I believe many of you have seen flyer before, and you've seen photocopy, like your textbook. Uh-huh. That the cover of your textbook and and the write-up inside your textbook, the quality is not the same. Always stay active. The quality is not the same. Hope you know. The quality of the cover of your textbook and the quality of the paper inside, the one inside, is not the same. So let's talk about those paper qualities. All right, we have the first one, plain paper. Okay, yeah, the quality is thicker, the cover is thicker. So plain paper. A plain paper is the normal one that everyone sees every day. Those people that do photocopy, if you've been to maybe any photocopy, your novels, those, even your book, that one is called paper, plain paper. It's very, very light. It's not as thick as other ones. The plain paper is the lightest of all of them. So after plain paper, the next one is glossy paper. Let me spell it. Glossy paper, or some people call it art paper. So you've seen your flyer before. You know that the paper for flyer always looks shiny. Yeah, if you look at the back of, if you have any flyer with you, you can check the back of the flyer. It always looks shiny, and it's not like your normal kind of paper, in as much as it's light, but it's not like your normal kind of paper. What they call it is glossy paper. Is best for printing flyer. If they use a normal kind of paper to print flyer, what will happen is that after they are done printing the flyer, the colors of the flyer in the flyer will not be sharp. The flyer will be looking dull. But if you use this glossy paper to print it, what happens is it will make the flyer look sharp and more attractive. So long as the ink in the printing was okay and sharp. So that's the second one. The third one is tick one. Tick one. Tick one. Tick one. So tick one and tick two just have slight difference. The slight difference is in their thickness. Trying to remember what I can use to relate to you. Okay. Okay. The back, your textbooks that you know, like your Babio textbook, your chemistry textbook, Babio, which other one? Um, most of them, they normally use this stick 2 to print it, because stick 2, if they subject it under pressure, like the pressure of opening the textbook, closing, it will still be strong. It will still be strong. The paper will not get weak easily. The thicker papers, they're also shiny, so it won't affect the color of this thing. So they use that stick 2 to print it because it's stronger. But stuff like your novel, Yes, your novel and which other one again? Your novels and some small books. They normally use thick one. And for all these thick papers, they have their prices. Their prices are different too. Prices are, oh, let me quickly quote this 120 to 150. I told you. Hope you remember it was for A3. I don't tell you price for A2. It was for A3. So that's for thick one and thick two. So we have other papers like um wedding card. I think wedding card falls on that thick one. The thickness falls on that thick one. Which other paper do we have? I've forgotten. So these are different paper qualities that we have. Yes, thick two is thicker. So these are the paper qualities that we have. Your wedding card, it falls on that thick one. Based on, and all of them has their significance and where they are used. You don't just want to print flyer. It's now gonna use tick two and you're printing the flyer, except the person wants a card. A card. For instance, certificates are printed with tick two because they need something strong. I've been to a printing press before where they use tick two to print ID card. No, they have paper ID card and plastic ID card. I believe what they do is they will print it, then laminate it and make it look strong. So I've been to a printing press that did that before. So these are different things you can. Your normal plain paper. A plain paper is used majorly for photocopy and black and white printing, not for colored printing. It does not. Color printing don't look beautiful on it. If you need to do colored printing like your flyers and your posters, you use your glossy paper. Then if you need to print novels, your novel cover, you use thick one. Your wedding card, there's a wedding card size, paper size. I mean, there's a wedding card paper size. If maybe so for instance someone wants to do a wedding, they have to go to the market and buy the paper size differently. So the paper size for wedding card is different. It's not like your normal wedding card and normal paper size. I mean, so all right, that is that for that. Let's get to the next thing that we are going to discuss. Are we together? Let's go back to Pixel Lab. All right. Let's go back to Pixel Lab. So I want to tell you about grid, GRID. Or let me use the word grid line and how it helps in printing. Grid, how it helps in printing. Okay, so you see this. If you are seeing my screen now, okay, let me quickly ask. Who is seeing my screen? Have you guys seen my screen? Let me know those are different. Some of you have gone offline. Okay, yeah. Trust. It's like I'll prepare something for you. I'll do giveaway for you. I need a follow pass for this class. All right, let's continue. Don't mind me. Okay, so when you want to print, there are certain things to consider. And one of it is grid. I may not be able to talk about all of them, but grid line is very, very important because the printer often cuts out everything. Let me use a shape. Everything that comes, let me give this a color. Everything that comes after this particular place, this edge. If important details are within the close to the edge of your design, it's likely that the printing machine will cut it out. It happens. it happens. So though it's not all printing machines, so I think the ones that are doing now, um, they avoid that. But to stay on the safer side, this is what you need to do before you start any design. Turn on your grid. Let me quickly remove this. Turn on your grid. Set it to 5% away. You can, based on the kind of design you want to do, you can set 10%, can set, I normally set 5%, sometimes 7. So let's use 7% away from the edge on all sides, up, down, both sides. 7% away from the edge. 7% away from the edge. Let's just remove these ones. So everything that you are designing, everything that you are creating should fall within here. But if you're adding images like, like pictures, if you're including pictures, let's say for instance, let me get a good shot. I'm not get fine people for this my phone. Me, I'm fine. Let me use myself. So let's say you are using a picture. The picture can come like this. If it cuts out this, I wish I was using my mouse. Let me use something to identify it. I don't know if you guys are seeing where my hand is. So if it cuts out this place now, it doesn't really matter in picture. But what about a text? If it cuts out a part of the text, people will not be able to read the text. Let's say, do I have anything here? Okay, let me just paste all these guys. And after you are done designing, maybe your designs are, I've seen people, it's like they are doing it like they are typing from this edge to the other edge, no space at all, nothing. So you do your designs like this, and when the printer now prints, this everything here will be cut out. And you see, if people are reading the flyer, they'll not understand what is written on the flyer. So to stay on the safer side, put your grid line. There are more to grid lines. I think grid line, when I'll be teaching you guys what they call it, layout, or I will suggest that before we even get to the layout, I have my ebook and I would like you guys to get it. Let's just talk about that before we continue. Who is active? Who is active? Who is active? Say hi on the group. Say hi on the group. Okay. Right. I just talked about one aspect of grid line. Grid line is majorly for structuring your design. So the one that you place here, this one that you placed here now, this is your grid line that you placed here. This is your grid line now. Is majorly to set boundaries where your elements should not cross. The elements you're using in your designs should not cross that place. So you've set the structure of that one. Then there are other grid lines that function, maybe you want to balance your work. Let's say, for instance, you want to balance your work at the center. Center is always 50. You want to balance your work at the center. All those things as grid line does. So there are more in that book. I think part of the things I taught you guys yesterday and a lot more are in the book. Who is talking with me? Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. So, all right. And I would love you guys to get the book. It's a 50-page book that covers a lot of aspects in graphic design. This is the book I often use when I'm teaching my students. So I'll be dropping the link now in the group. be dropping the link now in the group, and it's not costly. Because if it's costly, I don't do things that are beyond the power to buy. I'm coming. We have lots of things here. Can actually find what I'm looking for. Let me. Sorry, I'm coming. Sorry, I'm taking time. All right. So that's the link for you that were asking how do we get it. So that's the link to get the book. The book costs just 500 naira. It's very, very simple. Even the brokest of anybody can get the book. So let's go back to what we're doing. So if you purchase the book, send me a screenshot. I have something else to give you, and I'm very, very sure. Let me quickly show you what you'll be getting if you get the book. For those of you still seeing, right? Sorry, not in this drive, my other drive. So let's see my resources. So every of the resources here, everything here, as in these are backgrounds, these are design books, these are doodles. Okay, nothing is here, sorry. These are fonts, these are PSD files, these are stock images. So you will get the stock images that are so much. And some of them I did not put there, which are in this Google document. So these are linked to other documents. These are linked to other documents, and all of them are resources. Count all these links. Imagine how many things are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So all these things are, I think I also included courses there, free courses for you. So all these things for free. But once you send me the screenshot that you've gotten the book. So do that this night when we are done with the class. So back to what we were doing. So we've actually talked about grade. Let's in the topic that we are discussing, we have some bonus topics there, and I would like to treat 2 today. I'll treat you how to convert from inches to pixel. Who is still active? How to convert from inches to pixel, and how to change paper sizes in Pixel Lab. All right, I see you. Augustine, I see you. Kobe, I see you. How to convert from inches to pixel. All right, let's do that very quickly. Yes, I told you guys that today's class will be very, very practical. So let's see how to do that. How to convert. I want to show you a website how to convert from inches to pixel. Whatever, however they arrange it. This is not it. I think it should be the other way around. Oh, I actually clicked on the wrong one. Inches to pixels. So this is the website that I normally use. So for instance, the size of, let's quickly use another tab to check the size of A3 paper size in inches. We've not talked about flex. we'll do that. We'll do that now. So into the paper size in. You see the way they arrange this? Yeah, I would have gotten this picture actually. Let's look at another website. I can't download from there. Sorry. You can keep this for future references in case you need to see. So let's go back to what we wanted to get. So we have that this is the paper size for they put in millimeter and in inches. So what we want is in inches, 11.3 and 16.5. So we'll do it one after the other. 11.7 bar. So 11.7 in pixel is 1123.2. So just copy this like this and take it to your pixel lab. Take it to your pixel lab. You go to image size and just type it right. Just paste it there. Same thing with the other side. Let's quickly check that. 16.5. 16.5, and it will show you 1584. 1584. 1584. All right, and we are good. It's out. So the same thing happens with any paper size that you want to design with. So it can actually change. If you change this the other way around, let's say, let's put it like this. And 1, 2, 3. It turns to landscape. So no matter what you want to design, whether it's on landscape or portrait, you should already know landscape and portrait by now. So whether it's on landscape or portrait, you just do that thing I showed you. Please check the website again, unitconverters.net. Let me quickly type that for you. Unit converters. My own is anytime I want to use it, I just browse it and get it. It's trying to carry website on my head. Oh, unit converters.net. There's actually a formula for it, but I don't have strength to start carrying formula. We are running from maths in science, and now want to come and solve another maths in the design because we don't have that strength. So, all right, quickly, let's talk about before we talk about paper sizes in pixel. Okay, we just did that now. You just did that. You just did 2 things at the same time: how to convert from inches to pixel and paper sizes in pixel. What about flex? Flex is that one that you call big banner. This is where we'll call it a day. Let me see how far we've gone, how long class have lasted. 48 minutes. Okay, at least we've tried. So let's talk about flex as the last thing before we close for today. So remember, today we're talking about printing and measurement. So what if what your client wants is not flyer alone? I want you to print a big flex that they're telling you, I want to put this banner in front of my shop, and I want it to be so and so and so and so and so. Very good. So what we need to do is to quickly, now we are going to browse for, I think, okay, before we could do that, flex or banner normally uses, let me use, what am I looking for? Normally goes with, I'm not seeing what I'm looking for. It's not here. So normally goes with feet. Your flyer and your flyers and any other small this now you're printing is normally in inches or centimeter or each other one pixels. Pixels, they don't normally use it in printing press. They don't know what is pixel, but we know pixels is the same thing. Then millimeter, yeah, they also know millimeter. So if you are using something like Corel Draw, you don't have to suffer the stress of looking for where to convert them. The reason why we have to learn how to convert all these things is because by using Pixel Lab, by using Photoshop, just set it, change to fit, change to this one, and you are good. So always following, let's quickly talk about flex and fit. Okay, yeah, just have seen somebody. Let's now continue. So they don't convert, they don't think is here. So we'll convert it from fit. How to convert. I'm browsing it for you so that you will know how to do it yourself whenever the need comes. How to convert fit to. I've not used this one before. I don't want something that will stress me. Better for them. So before you convert, the client is telling you, I want to put this banner in front of my shop. You don't just go and look at that shop and go and print. No. What you do, okay, I think we should do feet to inches to feet first, because you need there was a time I had all this tape that tellers used to use. That tape there, I think, is graduated in inches. Yeah, it's graduated in inches. So let's do how to convert inches to feet first before we can design. Convert inches to feet. Okay, this is this one. And I need some. Okay, let's say you measured the place is not. Let's try 150 inches. It's not working. I need to change it. 150. Okay, yeah, it's working. So you use that tape to measure the height and the breadth or width of that particular place that the client wants you to put the banner. Yes, you have to measure it to be sure. I've done one particular printing before. I think that was either 2020 or 2021 for a particular ministry, one church like that. I just went there. I used my intelligence and I almost got it though. So I calculated based on intelligence and how I know it, like, and how, like, what 1 feet look like and what 2 feet look like. So I now say, okay, this place should look like about 12 feet. It should not be more than 12 feet. And the height should be around, the height that they wanted should be around 2 feet. So after printing, unfortunately, that place was 11 feet. So the client rejected the work. He said he cannot put this in here. It's longer than what he wants. Hey. So, and that time, imagine 12. This is how we calculate to print in flex. Calculate it by, let's say that 12 by 2. 12 times 2 times the price. Let's say is 150. So imagine I spent 3,600 to print that work and the client rejects it. So I have to go and spend around that that is not paying for another work. I'm using my money to go and print that one now. You get, yeah. So is that painful? So you see, you can make mistakes, though mistakes is not encouraged. You can make mistake when you are doing online work, like that person don't have to print it. If they notice the mistake, they can correct it. But you see, if you make mistake, whether in typography or whether in printing, as long as they have printed the work, that mistake is very costly. It can cost you that you have to reprint the whole work. So as a graphic designer, you need to be very, very careful. I remember printing a banner for one man of God like that. And that banner, I printed that banner last year, 2022. But what I wrote on the banner was 2020. If not that the man, we are good friends, let me put it that way. If it was all these clients that their head are hot, they will just reject the work and they'll tell you to go and reprint it again. So you need to be very, very careful when you are printing, no matter what, even if that person is very close to you, so long as it's printing, you cannot correct printing. You can correct soft copy, edit the editable format and send it to the person. When once it's printed, it has been printed. I don't know if you have seen banners where they have to use marker to write something on the banner. It's a mistake of the graphic designer. So I believe okay, I'm seeing something. Okay, 12 inches is equal to 1 feet. That's very good. That's very good. Trust. It seems you are familiar with all these things. Yeah, I love that. So I was talking about you should avoid mistakes. So when you are, make sure you measure it. Make sure you measure where the client wants that thing. Except some clients knows what they want. I love those kind of clients. They know what they want. They tell you that what I want is 4x5. Print 4x5 for me. They're certain. But you see those that don't know anything, please measure it. Show them what to measure in inches. Then you can go and calculate it and print it for them. You know how many feet or how many whatever is going to be, and calculate their money and tell them. I don't know if you guys are following. Who is still online? Who is still active? Okay. Okay, so we are going to stop here for today when it comes to measurement and printing. Other things you learn by practical when you start printing. Some things are not taught, some things you learn it yourself when you start printing. All right, so who has question? Who has question? Please drop your questions on the group. Or if you have question, you can unmute yourself and ask your question so that we will save time. If you have question, just identify. Let me unmute you. Identify. Let me unmute you. Okay, how can you get high resolution image on Pixel Lab? Very, very important question. Okay, yeah, this was part of what I wanted to teach you guys, but I forgot. Thank you, Kobe, for reminding me. Let's quickly go to Pixel Lab. So this is what I do. Knowing that Pixel Lab is a kind of limited and it may not give me what I want in particular. So to get something, it will not change the size of your Canva. Remember, this is what they call Canva. This is your workspace now. The entirety of this place that you can work with is called Canva. In any software at all, they call it workspace or Canva. So what I do is I add more zeros to, it did not change the size, but I've increased the resolution. So when I'm done designing, this is how I save. I save as Ultra. we're going to do a quick something real quick now. Let me reduce the size of this image. So we are going to save in Ultra, and also let me remove that. Sorry. So we're going to save in Ultra and also save as normal default, that default whatever they call it. So let's save this. Sorry, not as project, as just the normal. Can't create image provided the size is not supported by your device. You see, yeah, my device does not support this. Let me take it down to normal. This one is saved now. Now on the second one, we're going to compare those two images. So the second one, let's take it to Ultra. Is the highest quality. Let's go and let me see how good your eyes is. Snap this in my phone. So this is the first one. Trying to zoom to the highest this thing. See the face. See the face. Let's check the text. See the text. All right, let's go to the second one. See the face now. Are you seeing difference? See the face now. Let's see the text. Are you seeing difference? Let's go back again. See. Then study it, notice it in this text. See what the text looks like in the highest zoom. You see, instead of we see having the text is looking like we applied blur effect on it. Let's go back to the other one. You see that kind of thing is not that noticeable in as much as it's there, but it's not that as much as the first one. So that's actually the difference. So another thing that I do is that whenever I'm done designing, I quickly go to, what do they call this guy, Lightroom. Quickly go to Lightroom to edit and sharpen it, increase the sharpening. I quickly go to Lightroom to the sharpening. Let me show you guys what I did today, the design that I did today, the one on Pixel Lab. So this Pixel Lab results. This is what Pixel Lab can give you. Then this is after sharpening it on Lightroom. Now take note of, you see this color, the ethical hacking. You see the color, the one produced on Pixel Lab. Then you see how sharp the color is on this one. So yeah, photo editing is part of the things as bonus class. So I'm going to teach you guys how to edit on Lightroom. So don't worry, right? We'll do that. We'll do that. Don't worry. So you see the difference. You see how this one is looking dull, looking dusty, but you see how sharp this one is looking. Let's see another design. Let me see if I have any design up here. I did the same thing. Okay, look at this design now. Look at this one. You see the way everything is just looking. Let me delete this. So, and look at the result from Lightroom. See the one from Pixel Lab and sharpening from Lightroom. So that's basically as it. All right. Who else have question? Who else has question? Who else have? If you have question, please drop it. Type it now before we call it a day. Trust, I believe his question you're typing. So let's wait for him. Okay, while we are waiting for him. So while we're waiting for him, because we're about to call it a day, snap your jotter and send it. Let me see what. Do I design with phone or system? Obviously, I design with my phone. Oh, my phone I use to design. I design with my phone, obviously. So snap your jotter. Let me see your jotter. Let me see how many of you are jotting down something. Okay, I use Pixel the one I've been using to show you guys all these things so far. Where is that my guy? This is it. These are these are my works. See, these are my works. Let me unlock everything. So I just leave it. So that's it. Everything was done here. So you can see it. What else? Okay, this one. Everything was done here. Everything that I merged in the background was done there. So do you now believe it? Okay, one person has sent his jotter. What are you waiting for? So you don't tell me you did not jot today. Ah, don't tell me I am. This is what some persons pay huge amount of money. They pay 5K masterclass, and somebody is here dishing it out for you for free, and you not jot down. Okay. Tomorrow, come and say you not make it in design. Okay. Everyone will just be looking at you, and I'll remind you today that I've been teaching these things. All right. Before we close, I say I call it a day for today. Remember what I told you that I'll be giving you when you buy that ebook. So quickly, as I end this class now, quickly go and get the ebook and send me a screenshot in my DM, either on WhatsApp or here on Telegram, and I will send you the link to that resources. Everything for free. Imagine all those resources for free. So make sure you do that. That is the bonus that you'll be getting from buying that book, and it's just 500 naira. So please don't take time. Hurry now. So this will be the end of today's class. We will continue tomorrow, the same time.